How do you make your child very intelligent? Now, Nkechi and Emeka, you people click this video because you want your child to be sharp. Yes, Einstein Jr. that will be solving quadratic equation at 8-2. Very good. But I want you to also understand that Emeka Jr.'s brain and Nkechi Jr.'s brain did not start when they first said they are mommy or daddy or mama or dada. I know you threw party when they said mama or dada. As a matter of fact, it started inside your belly. The moment you found out that, hey, I'm pregnant, you look at the pregnancy strip, or you find out that your pregnancy or your period have lost, that's when they noticed, that's when their brain started developing. Because from like the first 1,000 days of pregnancy, it's like pouring cement for house foundation. If you pour it anyhow, the house will just start shaking every time that breeze blow or lucky flood comes. In this case, your child's brain is actually the house foundation. And if you want it to stand firm, you cannot play with the basics. When it comes to the first 1,000 days from conception, that's when the brain is busy forming, especially those plenty connections that needs to be inside. It's like the connections inside your WhatsApp group chat during festive season. If you handle this stage well, you are basically setting the stage for your child's behavior, your health, and even their life in total. How they are going to reason 20 years from now starts from when they are in the belly, so that your child will not go big as an adult right now and be chasing some kind, when they say some things on the internet, you wonder, did this person, did their brain form well? So please, from the first 1,000 days. But before we continue, there is a subscribe button somewhere on your screen. Click it. Some of you have been watching this particular channel for ages, but to subscribe is a problem. Just subscribe. Click the subscribe button so that at least we can reach 1 million subscriptions. There's a reason why we need to reach 1 million subscriptions. So that by the time we get there, more people can actually see this. We can qualify for some things. We can win some things. We can reach more people. We keep saying, oh, we want to change the healthcare in Africa. It's me and you that's going to change that healthcare in Africa. If I give the information, you click subscribe and share the video. It's not hard. You can also click the bell button there so that whenever we release video, you're not going to miss it.
Alpha! Aproko Doctor Fiesta is back. Yeah, this time actually in 2 locations, Lagos and Abuja. You know, say last year only Lagos. This time hotter than yes now. And then the theme is Y2K. We're taking it back to the 2000s. As always, I'm always dressed for the occasion.
Yes, I'm already dressed for occasion.
Excuse me.
As I did, I didn't say the good part.
I don't understand what's going on.
You go to understand. Okay, you see that Aproko Doctor Fiesta. Me say the good. Okay, come up for the job. How did you be that?
Now back to the steps that is going to make your child intelligent. 1, pregnancy. You need to understand that Emeka Jr.'s brain and Nkechi Jr.'s brain starts from when they are pregnant. Everything you do during pregnancy is actually drawing your baby's brain. What you can do to help your child's brain develop properly during pregnancy is 1, take folic acid. This reduces the serious risk of serious brain and spine problems. So if you want your child's brain to form properly, take folic acid during pregnancy and even before pregnancy. Another thing you need to do during pregnancy is avoid toxins. No alcohol, no smoking, no exposure to lead, no exposure to pollution. Because we also mentioned in one of our videos that if you're standing by a busy bus stop by a particular time, air pollution can enter your nose and affect the development of your baby. Another thing you also need to understand is that make sure you treat all infections no matter how significant you think they are. The moment you find out that you're having a bit of fever, you're noticing a particular change in discharge, please talk to your doctor. It's also very important that you handle stress. Look, when you don't handle stress properly enough, there's a particular hormone in your body called cortisol. Too much of cortisol can actually crush through and stress your baby also. Can affect your baby's brain, not good. Another thing you also need to understand is do not dodge antenatal care. Those checkups, the vitamins that you're supposed to take, all of them are lifesavers because they can even spot problems before they even start, especially if you're visiting your antenatal properly. Oh, this is the baby size. The baby size is good for their age. The baby's movement is good for their age. So if you attend your antenatal, you take your folic acid before and during pregnancy, you reduce your stress, you avoid alcohol, you avoid smoking, you avoid air pollution. You have taken the first step to actually giving Emeka Jr.'s brain or Nkechi Jr.'s brain a stronger start. Now, your child have born. Bam! Nkechi Jr. have learned. Their blessing have learned. The work that started inside your belly has not ended. As a matter of fact, this is where things get hot. Because what they now eat and put inside their mouth at this stage is like premium fuel for brain power. What you give them at this particular stage is very important. What do you now give them? Breast milk. Not just ordinary food, especially when they are born. because breast milk has all the nutrients that your baby actually needs, which is why we advocate for exclusive breastfeeding. Exclusive. In other words, your baby is not going to drink breast milk and something for the first 6 months. It's going to drink only breast milk, because even that breast milk contains water also that your baby needs. Now, inside this breast milk, you're going to see things like DHA. That's an omega-3 fatty acid that can help your brain connections and sharpen visions. Babies whose mother have good DHA levels and are breastfed well, when it now comes to brain development tests, they score higher. As a matter of fact, even with WHO and UNICEF has recommended exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months. No pap, no custard, no baby cereal experiments, just breast milk. After that, you can now continue breastfeeding and other foods, complementary foods, to help supporting the brain growth. So, Nkechi, every time you breastfeed, it's not just hunger that you're settling. You're actually helping your child's brain grow properly. Emeka, you're watching this video. It's not only the woman that has, I know, yes, it's the woman that has the breast, but you too, you have a role to play in breastfeeding. If you stress Nkechi, she might not be able to breastfeed properly. So please, support Nkechi while she's breastfeeding. You know, go. Step 2, micronutrients. Now, you have done breast milk. Amazing starts. As a matter of fact, if you choose breast milk, another person did not choose breast milk, your child has already started, is already doing all your master go, and they've already started running, while this other one is still preparing to run. But you see, the brain is still under construction because it needs specific nutrients and foods, which is where the real game actually starts. But you see this brain matter, sometimes it's the small things that we actually do that contain the most biggest power. We call them micronutrients. They are tiny, but the results, boom, everywhere. Now, think of micronutrients that is like small screw that is holding the chair together. You don't need to see it. But the moment one screw just remove, that whole chair, you're going to land gidigba on the ground. So what micronutrients am I talking about? The first one is iron. Look, this one is a VIP micronutrient for attention, for memory, and movement. If your baby is not getting enough iron, their cognitive development will suffer. Another one is iodine. Severe iodine deficiency is one of the leading causes of preventable intellectual disability worldwide. And a lot of the food that we actually eat now have actually been fortified with iodine. Zinc, also very important, quietly supports learning and the immune system. Vitamin D, sunshine vitamin, helps your mood, helps your brain function, and even immunity. So if your child is always tired, they are struggling to focus, or they are growing slowly, they're having some developmental delays, please talk to a doctor, especially a pediatrician. In some cases, it might just be a micronutrient deficiency. I hope you're aware. Another step is that Emeka Jr. and Nkechi Jr. also needs healthy fats that helps the brain fast and efficient. You see, inside your child's brain are neurons, and these neurons are like wires. They are sending currents from one to another. But you see, these wires have a insulation. That's the thing that is to cover the wire, because without that insulation, they will spark, they are slow, they will fail. That insulation in the brain is called myelin. And healthy fats are the raw materials for building it. What are some of the sources? Oily fish, eggs, avocado, groundnuts, healthy oils. Yes. So you can do all these things, but ruin it every day with things like too much sugar, poor routines, lack of stimulation. These things can be quietly cancelling the gains out if you are not careful. As a matter of fact, studies have actually shown that junk food can actually make kids hyperactive, lowers their diet quality. Once you start early, you can set their taste bud to prefer a kind of food. So you don't say, oh, the child is asking for this. No, you can train them to actually not like that type of food. Another thing that is very important is sleep. Look, your child's brain is growing while they sleep. No sleep, no proper wiring. Another thing that you also need to understand is when you are giving a child care, you need to be responding to that baby's cues with love and affection, or else you're going to affect their mental health. So when a baby is hungry, feed them. When they are crying, soothe them. That way, you're wiring something in their brain called trust and emotional health. This particular one is very important. Lack of play and stimulation. If all you do is give your child iPad to watch cartoon, you're not helping them. As a matter of fact, singing to them, talking to them, reading to them, even simple play, those things are like brain workouts. Nobody is saying you should not watch cartoon, but give them your presence too. You even need to, as a matter of fact, WHO has said that a child below 2 years of age does not need screen time. Let them interact with their environment, interact with faces, interact with things, move around, play. And if they are 2 years, their screen time in a day should not be more than 1 hour, because children these days also learn from their environment. All their learning cannot come from iPad and cartoon. We understand that sometimes as parents it's going to be difficult trying to at least keep a child and maintain a child's energy. But it's you that born the child. It's also part of your responsibility to add to their own brain development. There are other things you can do. It should be a bedtime routine. You first bathe them, tell them a bedtime story, and then you sleep. Where we used to grow up, at least during our time, they used to tell us bedtime stories. Now, these days, everybody just watches cartoon. When they watch cartoon, they're like this, they can't even think. And then even the kind of shows that you're exposing them to matters. You need to remove them from high stimulating shows. Things like Cocomelon, too much. Bright colors, bright sounds, loud sounds, everything. They're just staring like this. They're addicted. What they're doing is that you're training their brain to feed off high dopamine. That when they now start to lose attention when they're exposed to other things, because they always want that. I know somebody that if their child is not watching Cocomelon like this, they cannot eat. You can't even keep them in one place until they're watching Cocomelon. Like this. There are other lower stimulating shows that you can even expose them to that teach them. Very important. And at the same time, that's when you also have simple language, vocabulary. You talk to your child. All these things that you're doing is actually help build their own, because that at that period of a child's age, they are beginning to learn by observing. It's the things they hear that they learn. That's what they imitate. That's what they do. So please, you are actually responsible for the intelligence of your child to a great extent. So now, to make things easier for you, there's a simple checklist. If you like, you can copy this checklist and print it on your wall or put it on your wall. In pregnancy, ensure that you attend regular antenatal care. Avoid smoking, avoid alcohol, treat infections. Use folic acid, of course, with your doctor's prescription, even before pregnancy and during pregnancy. Birth to 6 months, exclusive breastfeed where possible. Make sure that if you're struggling to breastfeed, you seek what we call lactation support. There are people that can help you lactate, right? Talk to your health professional, talk to people that have gone ahead of you before so that they can give you safe forms of lactation. Between 6 to 24 months, the food that they are eating should have nutrients, not just number, nutrients, heavy nutrients, iron-rich, iodine-containing, protein, healthy fats. You need to limit added sugars, ultra-processed snacks, junk food. Take it out. Keep their routine. Things like sleep, play, responsive caregiving, and including immunizations. Very important. What you now need to do is to watch for warning signs. If you notice that your child is growing poorly, they don't interact as much with the environment or with other people, that might be a problem. Because unlike your car that has spare tire, if one spoil, there's even spare engine in the market. You can easily replace it and your car is good as new. With the brain, there's only one. What you put in there now is what's going to happen for life. So pregnancy and the first 2 years is what we call the construction phase. If you lay the good foundation with good food, glove, routines, and not just screen time bribes and sugar, you will end up with what we call a skyscraper, intelligent child, like me. You know, I said I know book. So please, we don't need face me, face you brain. It's intelligent brain we want, skyscraper. So Emeka and Nkechi, if you're watching this, please raise them properly now.
Alpha. Aproko Doctor Fiesta is back. Yeah, this time actually in 2 locations, Lagos and Abuja. You know, the last year only Lagos. This time hotter than yes now. And then the theme is Y2K. We're taking it back to the 2000s. As always, I'm always dressed for the occasion.
Yes, I'm already dressed for occasion.
Excuse me.
As I did like this, they go that part.
I don't understand what's going on.
You go still understand. Okay, you see that Aproko Doctor Fiesta. Me self dey go. Oga, come up already, Joe. How could you be that?